Looks like our first question will be Troy Hutchison, All Sports Tucson.
So, Sean, Azula's had 0 points in the first half. He bounces back with 8, hits the game winner. What does it say about the mental mindset of a freshman to come back after a rough first half?
So that's a very good question. Azuolas was not himself in the first half. I think some of that you have to credit ASU. They're an athletic, quick, full court team. The game is a little bit different playing them because the tempo of the game is really up, and it might have caught Azuolas by surprise, even though we've tried to prepare him for what was to come. But not until you get in the game do you really get a good sense. But the second part of your question is, but he really did. He put it behind him in the first half. He was much better in the second half. He actually got off to an even slower start at the beginning of the second half. And I think really what you're talking about is maybe from about the 15-minute mark of the second half to the end of the game, where he really became himself. Obviously, the game-winning offensive rebound or pass, whatever it was, that was a huge play.
We'll go to Justin.
And then Dalen Terry next night.
Dalen was the unsung hero of tonight's game. 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. Dalen really works at it. I mean, he gives as much effort working on his game as any player, especially freshman, that we've had. I mean, he's up early, he's in the gym early, practices hard every day. And a big part of his work ethic is to improve his shooting. And as you can see, I thought he shot good threes. And when he shot the ball, it was the shot we want him to take. But a big reason we won the game is just his overall play, but the fact that he was able to become a double-figure scorer in tonight's game.
We'll go to Justin Spears, Arizona Daily Star.
Coach, with a few minutes left, you guys were down by 7 and the pressure was really on for your team to turn around and pull off a win like this. Just what does it kind of say about just the group that you have and maybe what they can bring next year?
Well, you're right, Justin. I mean, we're a team that really works hard on a daily basis. We've had some really good practices. Sometimes I question myself going home if we've gone too long in practice or too hard, just because, the war of attrition, we're down bodies. But, again, I think you want to prepare your team and your team wants to be ready so that when you get down into that final few minutes that you have more in the tank. And, I felt like our team really relied on their daily habits, fought through, made some timely field goals, didn't give in, didn't give up. And obviously won just a great, great game. Our defense is not as good as our offense. We're hard at work to make it better. It has to get better. But, sometimes you just have to figure out a way to try to get a win almost in spite of your defense. And, that was really the storyline of tonight's game. I mean, ASU had their way with us, especially in the second half. And hopefully we can be better when we play them on Monday.
And what did you think about the energy? Even without fans, it seemed like there was still a lot of energy in this game. What was your thoughts on it from your perspective?
I mean, it's a rivalry game. The players care a lot. Each team cares a lot. I think both coaching staffs recognize that, it means a lot to the history of both of our programs. So we want to give maximum effort. And, you win, it's a thrilling feeling. You lose, it's a terrible feeling. And that's what we have to guard against because, unlike other games in this series, the next game we play is ASU. It's going to be on us pretty quick on Monday. And I think there's a number of things that we have to be better at when we play them on Monday.
Bruce Pasco, Arizona Daily Star, you're next.
Sean, that last play, it counted. They're counting it as a shot. James said it was a lob that he intended to get to Azuolas there. What did you think, and what did you want in that situation when the seconds are taken off and James didn't quite have enough time to get to the bucket?
Well, I mean, you want to first of all you want a shot. If you can get a second shot, that's even better. But, to have the ball in James's hands, we didn't have a timeout, but even if we did, that's not the time to call it. It's letting a player make a play. We trust James, and if it was a pass, it was one heck of a pass. If it was a shot, still one heck of a pass.
Okay.
But Julius, I give him credit for being there and making it. Some guys missed that. He made it.
And one of the things I was just wondering about the foul. So I mean, they like getting to the line. Did you kind of figure that would be a factor like it was tonight for them?
We fouled in both halves too much, and it's plagued us. We got to look at what we can do to plug those holes and maybe foul less. Some of our fouls were just young fouls, inexperienced fouling on an offensive rebound when ASU has inside position. You just kind of have to see it for what it is, and you know what, I'm not going to go for the ball, or recognizing they're in the bonus, so I'm really not going to go for the ball. I think we had a foul at 3/4 court, once or twice. But it's you forget, in this game a year ago, we had, I think, 10 guys that played. 8 of them are not here. So we had a lot of first timers in tonight's game, a lot of guys who weren't even a part of our program a year ago. So, that's part of what we have to continue to grow and get better at. We're very inexperienced. And again, every time we play a game, we have an opportunity to get better and improve. But I thought tonight was a hard fought battle. If we would have lost, we would have lost in a very tough game.
Steve Rivera, I see you using the applause function. Steve?
Hey, Sean, you've taken some very good teams into this arena and come back a loss. What does this do for you in terms of big wins there specifically?
Well, it's a tough place. I mean, this, Steve, any road game in the Pac-12, and I know we are in COVID, so fans aren't here, or at least I know they have parents, but it's difficult. You see it the other night, Colorado at Washington. I don't know what happened in these games. You saw it recently when USC went up and played Oregon State. It's college basketball. That's what makes it such a great sport, that, the home court versus away. It's just not easy to win on the road. And Arizona at ASU, it's a challenge. It really is. So yeah, we're thrilled to win it. We've lost a couple games here exactly how we won tonight. And, over time, that has a way of evening out.
Yeah, thanks.
Alec White, you're next.
Yeah, Coach, on the celebration, Jason Terry ran off the bench to celebrate with the team, and it looked like he came up gimpy afterwards, like he pulled a hamstring. Did you speak with him at all after the game about that? Is he okay?
He's fine. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
look, we're all excited. Coaches, players, managers. It's our players are practicing hard, and we're right in the middle of our season, and I think this now. We lost a game very similar to tonight's game at Stanford. If you think about at Stanford, that was a heck of a game. We made a big comeback and pulled up short on a last second play. And then, at Washington State, at Oregon State, at Washington, and tonight at Arizona State, I give our team credit. We've been able to go on the road and win. And hopefully we have a couple more left in us.
What was just the overall mood? I'm sure there's a lot of excitement, but what was your message to the team afterwards, and how to build on this with you're playing the same team in a couple days again?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing right there, just to kind of make sure that we're still focused on ASU and learning from tonight's game, and whatever adjustments that we need to make, being prepared to make those. Our guys are probably a little beat up. I'm sure theirs are as well, giving them an opportunity to rest and recover and yet prepare. But we're thrilled. I mean, it's the fun part of coaching when you can win a game like that. It's not very fun when you don't, but we're going to enjoy our ride home to Tucson, and hopefully we'll get ready to play them again. They're a tough team to play against. The team that we played tonight was their full allotment, or as close to it as they've had. In fairness to ASU, they've really dealt with COVID and injuries and a lot of situations that aren't going to allow them to be successful. But now that they have Remy Martin back, and the big guy Graham, and you kind of look at their team, they have the ability to really play well. So beat a good team, and hopefully we'll be able to keep it going.
We'll go to Ari, Arizona Daily Wildcat. Ari?
Yeah, Coach, Christian Coloco, his playing time was a little bit limited tonight in foul trouble, but he had the couple of huge plays to start the second half with the 2 blocks and the dunk. What can you say about the energy he brings to the team and just what kind of improvements you're seeing from him as an overall player?
Yeah, Christian is a very important player for us. I mean, he's our best interior defender. Like you mentioned, he has the ability to block shots, change the game around the rim. He takes his defense very seriously. We'll have to take a look at his fouls. We don't want him always in foul trouble. And there's probably a couple plays where he has to just continue to grow, be smarter on the court, because he's such a young player that, game experience is really important for his development. But you're right. He made a couple key plays, a couple spurts where our team played well. I thought he was right at the forefront of those plays.
And we'll end it with Bruce Pascoe. Bruce?
Yeah, Sean, just wondering your general thoughts. You talk about playing ASU again, but your general thoughts on when you have to play a team this close back to back. It doesn't happen too often. You obviously did well with it last year playing Washington towards the end and then in the tournament. I don't know if you did that a lot in the A10 or, what's the challenges and disadvantages, advantages? How do you look at it?
Well, I don't know if anybody, loves it. I'm sure ASU feels like we do. You want to move on, maybe play our game at a later date, but we're all part of something that's bigger than just our own programs. And I think it's a decision that was made by the Pac-12 office that makes a lot of sense, especially in ASU's case, to give them that last week to recapture some games that they've lost would be very, very big for them. So, we want the most teams in our conference to get in postseason play, and anything that we can do in terms of scheduling or cooperating to make that happen. Obviously we'll do it. Obviously, we're also playing every game to win ourselves. So, but that's kind of how it is. And I know we're not the only rivalry that's doing it. There's quite a few in the Pac-12, if not everybody, that I think is trying to free up that last week.
Right. Do you notice any general trend? Like, how much more of an advantage, if at all, is it for the team that loses that first game to rebound from that, or is it all just who knows?
No, it's whoever's the most ready in the next game has the advantage, for sure. But it's too hard to call right now. We just coming off this game, and being able to have a couple good days. Tomorrow will be off for us, so guys get a chance to rest and recover. We've had some really hard practices leading up to this game as well. And I think number one is just allowing our players to be as fresh as they can be, because this is a hard fought game for sure. And, as we look towards next week, playing 3 games in a week isn't easy in the Pac-12. We've already done it once when we played Colorado at Washington State, and we're about ready to do it again. We're going to play ASU at home and then Stanford at home and Cal at home. So at least the next 3 are at home, but 3 games in a week will be challenging for our team.
Great. Thank you.
All right. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks, everybody.